the possession of room 313. They say no one ever checks out of room 313. Not truly. Some leave mumbling nonsense, others disappear within themselves. One man walked out grinning, jumped from the third floor, and never stopped laughing. Still, I booked the room. Not for thrill, not for legend, because of Mara. 1 year ago today, my sister vanished inside room 313. We hadn't spoken for months before her trip, a rift over something stupid. Then a postcard arrived, weeks after her disappearance, addressed to me in her handwriting. You must see it for yourself. The room remembers. There was nothing else. No return address, no date. Just that phrase, etched in jittery ink. I took it as a challenge, or a plea. So I came. The hotel was once a sanatorium, converted after decades of abandonment. The third floor was closed to guests. I bribed the night clerk. He gave me the key without meeting my eye. Room 313 was at the far end of a hallway that didn't seem to follow physics. Each step I took felt longer than the last. The wallpaper peeled in long curls. The floral carpet was threadbare. Doors lined the corridor, but only room 313 had a doorknob that looked recently touched. My hand hovered over it. The wood was cold, vibrating. I pressed the key into the lock. Click. The door opened with a sound like a breath being held too long. The smell hit first, aged rot, mildew. Beneath it, something sweeter, like meat gone soft. Inside, a small bed, concave in the center, a dresser with a fractured mirror, one chair, one lamp. Black paint coated the window from inside, sealing the room in permanent dusk. Symbols were scratched into the walls, spirals and jagged lines like insect trails. The door shut behind me on its own. I didn't jump. I sat on the bed. The springs gave a shudder, almost reluctant. My fingers found the nearest symbol, warm, pulsing faintly. You came back. I turned. No one. You came back. It said again. The mirror rippled. My reflection stood still while I moved. Then, in the shards, Mara appeared. Her face was wrong, mouth slack, eyes wide. Not scared, hollow, like something had scooped her out. It remembers us both, she said. The voice came from the walls. I staggered back. The light above buzzed, popped. Darkness. A sound beneath the bed, scraping. I dropped to my knees, teeth, dozens, some chipped, some fresh. I scrambled up, heart hammering. The chair now sat inches from me. It had moved. I hadn't heard it. A soft hum began, not mechanical, organic, like a throat clearing deep in the walls. I remembered what Mara had told me once, years ago, drunk and half laughing. They say the hospital used to bleed people here, literally, to balance humors or whatever. And when that didn't work, they started lobotomies. On children. It seemed absurd then. Now it felt like the most honest thing I'd ever heard. The mirror reflected me again. This time, I was alone, but I wasn't. I whispered her name. Mara. The room inhaled. Symbols lifted from the walls like ash, fluttering in the air. One landed on my skin, dissolved into my palm. My hand cramped violently. I saw something, a circle of robed figures, a child strapped to a table, my mother, younger, crying, chanting, my father beside her, holding me. You were born here. The thought wasn't mine. It came fully formed, like memory without experience. My knees buckled. The floor felt soft, breathing, a heart beneath the boards. They fed it, Mara whispered. Close now. She stood in the corner. Her eyes were gone. Her skin bore the same symbols now rising from the walls. She opened her mouth. No words, just the sound of wind through dead leaves. I crawled to the door, yanked the knob, locked. I pounded, screamed. Nothing left my throat. In the mirror, I saw myself screaming over and over. A loop. They made it to hold it, Mara said. Not haunt it. Please it. She pointed to the headboard. Etched into the wood, barely visible. We who suffer remain. The bed reached for me, not metaphorically. The frame stretched, bent, embraced. I fought, but I was tired. My breath fogged in the dark. My skin felt too loose. Inside me, something stirred, like I'd been pregnant with dread. You always belonged to it, Mara said. You were the first. And I remembered. The blood, the chanting, the pain I was born into. It didn't matter what I believed. My life had never been mine. I laid down. The bed sighed. The room exhaled. The mirror cleared. I saw myself. Different. Eyes like pits. Symbols etched into my arms. I looked calm, no longer resisting. The room pulsed. From below the bed, the teeth rattled in approval. I don't know how long I've been here. Time doesn't exist inside the heartbeat of room 313, but I know what comes next. A new knock, a key in the door, someone else with questions, maybe you. I'll be here when you arrive. We all will.